Hi, second graders. So today we're going to be talking about dividing sets into equal groups. And I'm going to be doing this worksheet with you guys. So this is lesson worksheet 133, and I want you to follow along with this worksheet. So make sure you have it when you're watching this video. Okay, so we're going to start with this first one, and these numbers in the squares, this is our set. So this is what we are going to be breaking into equal groups. So dividing means that we're going to be splitting them apart. Sets are what we're working with. So like this in my hand is a set of 6 blocks and into equal groups. So equal groups means that when we separate them, they're all going to be the same amount, okay? So starting with this first one. So it says, make sure your name is at the top of the paper. Don't forget. Miss Michaela. Okay. So our first one says we have a set of 6. So we have 6 blocks here. And you can use items in your house. You can use marbles or other things that are small like this. So I have 6 items, and we're going to pretend that we are splitting this set between 2 people and that we want it to be fair, so we're going to split it into equal amounts. So we would take this and we would count to make sure they're equal amounts. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we have 6 in total. So we have one group here and one group here. So we have 2 groups, and in each group we have 3. You see that? So when it asks us 2 groups of blank, well, we have 2 groups and they are 2 groups of 3. So the blank is what we're filling in on the amount that's in each group. So each person, if we were splitting this set between 2 people, would get 3 blocks. So on this one, we are going to write 3. The second part on this same box says 3 groups of blank. So now we're going to pretend that we have this same set of 6 blocks, but we are going to split it between 3 friends. So once again, we have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So we have our 3 groups, just like it says right there. And then we see how many is in each one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 groups of 2. So we've already done our first one. So now we're going to go on to our second one. I'm going to use a different item, a smaller one. So the set is 8. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little beans there. And it first says 2 groups of blank. So 2 groups, so I'm going to split this evenly between 2 people. So looks about right. So let's count it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 separate groups, 1 group, 2 group. So if we were to split 8 beans between 2 people, it would be 2 groups of 4, okay? So now we're going to do the opposite, and we're going to split it between 4 people. So it'll look a little like this. So we have 1 group, 2 group, 3 groups, 4 groups. So 4 groups of 2. So see how it is the opposite? So now we have 4 groups of 2. So if we split this between these beans between 4 people, each person would have 2 beans. Very good. So the next one is 10. So I'm just going to add 2 more. So now I have 10 beans there. And it says that we want 2 groups of blank. So we're going to split this in half. So you think about what is half of 10. So we have 2 groups here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're even, so they're equal. So that's good. And we have 2. So if we were to split it between 2 people, we would have 2 groups of 5. You guys see that? Okay. So once again, we're going to do the opposite. Okay. So now it says 5 groups. So we have to think, how am I going to split these 10 beans between 5 people and put them into 5 equal groups? So okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 groups, perfect. And when are they the same amount? We have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So that means that if we were to split this between 5 people, there would be 2 beans in each group. Very good. Okay. Oh man, these numbers are getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so we're gonna add, so we have 10. So I'm gonna add 2 more, so we'll count it just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 beans there. Oh, I was looking at this one. Sorry. So we're going to add 3 more. 13, 14, 15. So now I have 15 beans. So this is my set of 15. And it says split into 3 groups. So 3 groups. So remember, they have to be even. So if you were to... This is like dividing 15. It would look like this because these numbers are getting bigger. If you were to write this as a division problem, it would be 15 divided by 3, which looks really scary, but we're going to work it out with the groups right here. So remember, we have to have 3 even groups. And if this gets a little tricky, you can always count them out. So I'll show you that method right here. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And even though that takes a little bit longer, if you're not sure about these bigger numbers and how to start splitting them into equal groups, it's good to count them out. So now we counted them out. So each group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 1, 2, 3 groups. So we have 3 groups of 5. 3 groups of 5. So if you were to do this division problem, your answer would be 5. Okay, so now I have 15 still. So we're going to do it into 5 groups this time. So we're going to do the counting method again so you guys can see that just in case you need to use that method. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just counted out each one to its separate group. I'll draw some lines in between so you can see that. So each one is its own little group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, and I have 1, 2, 3 in each group. So it says 5 groups of 3. Okay, going down to this bottom one in the corner. So right here, so 12. So I'm going to count that out. Show you guys. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And these ones are a little bit different because we're going to do a bunch of different ones and not just 2. So we're going to be splitting these ones into a lot of different sizes of equal groups. So starts with 2 groups. So this one I think we can just split mentally. So if you were to split 12 in half, think about if you were to split 12 in half, and that would be, so I'm gonna do it right here. So I have my 2 separate groups to make sure they're equal and how much are in each one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we know that 6 plus 6 is 12. So we have our total amount. So if we were to split these beans between 2 people and into 2 groups, we would have 6. So it would be 2 groups of 6. Okay? So let's do this next one mentally too. So we were splitting it into 3 groups. Okay, so we have 3 groups. Let's make sure 1, 2, 3, and then how many are in each one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 3 groups of 4. Okay, so now we're going to do this one the other method that I talked about earlier. So these are our little columns here to separate our groups. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, it's totally okay to do it like this when we're still learning how to make our equal groups. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, just like it asks for, and then we have 1, 2, 3 in each group. So if we had 4 groups, there would be 3. So it's 4 groups of 3. Now this one asks for 6 groups, which sounds really scary, but you'll see that it's very similar to the first one we did in this box. So let's separate these into 6 groups. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, that's not gonna fit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each little cluster is a group. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little groups, and in each one there's 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we have 6 groups of 2. So remember, this is like multiplication, division we can use to check our answers. So if you were to do 6 times 2, so that's 6 2 times, or 2 6 times, you would get to 12. So we know that our answer is correct. Okay, so last one here in the corner. You guys should be all the way to the corner here. We have 20. So I'll count these out. Okay, so we have, I'm going to count it by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So I have 20 beans. Okay, and it starts with 2 groups, so all you have to think about is how would I split 20 in half? So what is half of 20? Okay, so let's check. So we have 2 groups just like it asks for. Let's make sure we have even amounts. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 2 groups of 10, and that would make 20. So our answer would be 10. Okay, now I'm actually going to show you guys a trick. So I already have 2 groups here, right? And the next one is asking me for 4 groups. So I can actually I'm just going to split these 2 groups in half themselves and to make 4 even groups. So I'm going to split each of these evenly like this and like this. So we'll double check that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. And let's see how many we have in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have 4 groups of 5. 4 groups of 5. Okay, so this one's a little bit different, so we need to restart. So 5 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, just like it asks for. And in each group, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can count those and double check. And there's 4 in each group. So we have 5 groups of 4. So the opposite of the one we just did before. So once again, just like how I split my groups between the 2 and the 4 groups, I'm going to do the same thing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups right here. So I'm actually just going to split each of these 5 groups to make 10 groups. Just split those in half. So now I have, I'll circle them so you can see because there's so many groups and they're so tiny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 groups, and you can see that there's 2 in each group. So the opposite of that first one that we did. Okay, so you should be at the end of your paper. There's no backside. And this is how you divide sets of objects into equal groups. So remember that this is a set, what you start with, and dividing it is the part where you split it. So if I were to split this like that, that'd be even. But remember, they have to be equal groups. So if I did this and I had more on this side and less on this side, those aren't equal. So they have to be split into equal groups. And that's how we split our sets into equal groups.